What's happening, people? This is CJ Lloyd Webley, and if you're someone who is tired of the struggle of trying to achieve your goals, you're in the right place. Now today, I've got 4 simple steps that are going to put you on the path to success. Now this isn't your typical guru talk. We've got some real strategies that are going to enable you to get to that next stage. Just real practical steps that you can implement straight away. Ready to get started? Let's get it. So step 1, the big picture. What's the big vision? Where do you see yourself or your business in 10 years from now? This crystal clear vision is your ultimate secret weapon. Now, this is something that I really struggled with because I'm someone who typically tends to live in the moment, the here and now. I like to know what I'm doing right now is going to benefit me right now, but that's not how goal setting works. Goal setting works when you have that long-term vision. 10 years is a long time to really think, do I want to be where I am currently, or do I want to be somewhere else? Do I want my business to be on a different trajectory or path? Having that 10-year path laid out really helps you to identify what it is, because things change ultimately in life. Your wants change, your desires change. Maybe at this point it's a new car that you want, but in 10 years time, maybe cars are not on the top of your list. Maybe it's a house, or you want to go on more holidays. These are things that, of course, are not always aligned directly to the business, but it ties into what that overall bigger picture looks like. Think, where do I see myself in 10 years time, and where do I see the business in 10 years time? Because ultimately you might not still be running the business in the same capacity in 10 years time, but it's important for you to have that laid out so you can start to put steps in motion to get to where you want to get to. Step 2 is the timeline wire. 10 years, 3 years, 1 year. You want to start with that bigger picture. What does the end goal look like? Then you want to put tangible measures in place to get there. And this is almost like a vision board. You can use images to make this make sense for you. In 10 years time, it might look like working from home. It might be having your own office space. In 3 years time, it might be actually being able to have a regular, consistent flow of revenue, so you're not worrying about where the next paycheck's going to come from. And in 1 year's time, it might literally just be buying a new laptop for yourself. It's having images that actually represent that particular point in time. This is something that you can refer back to in meetings, whether you've built a team and they want to understand where you want to go with this. It's really important to have this locked into your own mind. When you look in 90 days time, you want to look at those 3 to 7 things that you have on that list and be able to say, look, that's actually what I've achieved. Because let's be honest, when you're in business, the days tend to seem like they're rolling into one. One day you're doing your marketing, one day you're trying to figure out what's going on social media, and then you're going to look at the accounts that are coming up, emails, all of these things. As a business owner, CEO, they fall on you until you're at a point where you can start to outsource these things. Those 3 to 7 little wins, they could be something very simple. Let's say at the moment you're currently designing all of your material on an online free platform. You've now decided to invest in something like Canva, or you've now decided to implement a CRM system so that you can track and measure the types of customers that are coming through the door. Little things that are happening, but very significant in the long-term overall process of you achieving your goals. So make sure you are really checking in with yourself on a frequent basis, because it's easy to overlook the little things that you've achieved that are going to make a big difference in the long run. Step number 4, once you've written down those 3 to 7 things that you really want to achieve over the course of 90 days, what you're going to do is prioritize those. If one of them, for example, was something like creating a content calendar for your social media posts, how important is that for you and your business right now? It probably is quite important. Social media is a great lead generation tool, but it's not something you want to spend all your time doing. Creating a content calendar, spending a day or 2, mapping that out will really help to free up some of your time in the long run. Then you can look at implementing a scheduling tool or something that will enable you to make sure that social media is happening in the background, but it's not constantly the thing that you're working on day to day. As the CEO, you want to be working on the business, and you want to start to get away from working in the business. It's those 3 to 7 things that you have written down. In fact, I've got my pen and paper here. So you want to get a literal, it could be anything, pen and paper. You want to write down those 3 to 7 things that are really priorities for you in the next 90 days. And you want to put them in order of priority. If the content calendar is something important to you, that might be number 1. If it's something like getting up earlier, that might be number 2. Of course, getting up earlier is really going to help you to be more productive. It all depends on what works for you right now. Once you're able to start celebrating the small wins, the bigger wins become so much sweeter. All right, so that's a wrap for this video. I hope you're all feeling that I'm not just doing this for the money, but they're also doing it because they want to make a difference in the world. If you've got any burning questions or you want to share your wins with me, please drop a comment and also hit that like button, as it will help me to continue to make these kind of videos and help us to build an amazing entrepreneurial community. Until next time, peace and love. Take care.